Hi guys, so if you're a goalkeeper who suffers from a bad anxiety while you're performing in a game situation, I will guarantee by the time you watch this short video, you'll be in a better position to deal with that anxiety. Now, for where the ball it, guys, you'll never get rid of anxiety. Even professional goalkeepers will never get rid of anxiety, but they deal with anxiety. And I'm going to show you how to deal with anxiety just like a professional goalkeeper. Now, if you're a parent of a goalkeeper, please watch this video because I know a lot of parents really struggle when they see their goalkeeping child struggle with their confidence or anxiety while they're playing. They've no idea what to do. I'm going to show you in this short video how you can very simply help your goalkeeping child with their anxieties. Also, if you're a goalkeeper coach, apologies in advance, I'm going to be a bit brutal here. But if you're not taking your students to one side to help them develop their mindset, you are missing a massive piece of the jigsaw in terms of their development. In fact, you're shortchanging your students. Again, with the greatest respect, a lot of goalkeeping coaches do not teach the mindset because they don't understand it themselves. It took me over 20 years to understand the mindset, guys. Okay, yeah. So it's something that it took me over 20 years how to teach the mindset. Even though it's super easy to do, it's complex to learn, to teach others, if that makes sense. But I'm going to make this super, super easy for yourself. So if you're a goalkeeping coach, want to help your students, please watch these videos on the mindset because you will really help your goalkeeping students achieve their dreams. Now, before I'll go into it, you might be thinking, if you've not heard of me before or J4K, who are you guys? Very quickly, my name's Ray Newlands. I'm the founder of Just for Keepers, also called J4K for short. I've been playing goal since I was 8 years of age. I was professional for 10 years, playing for clubs like Everton in the Premier League. And in 1998, after a freak training ground injury, I started Just for Keepers, which went on to become the largest goalkeeper school in the world. Now, for me, I never understood mindset. Even I knew mindset was important as a professional goalkeeper, but I never understood it, if that makes sense. I just knew you had to be confident. But when I played, there was nothing like there is today, all the science and all the people teaching it. When I played, the only bit of motivation that we got from our coaches and management was, hey, if you don't keep a clean sheet, we're going to drop you this week. That was it. Seriously, guys. Okay. Now, I'm not knocking my coaches or managers because back then, because they knew no difference, because nobody, it was very taboo to speak about this subject. So thankfully, things have moved on. So I could say, but I realized when I started Just for Keepers in 1998, I realized for me to have any chance of me helping my students achieve their dreams, that I had to help them become mentally strong, just like a professional goalkeeper. So literally the last 20 years, I've wrote books. I've read a lot of books. I've actually wrote books. This book here called Minds Over Goal. Now, I'm not trying to plug this book because you can actually download it completely free of charge, guys. The majority of the stuff that I do is completely free of charge. So I'm not trying to plug anything here. It's free when it comes to mindset. I wrote a book on it. You can get it below for free. I started very quickly, guys. I started Just for Keepers in 1998 when I become the leading and largest goalkeeper schools in the world. At our peak, we were in 37 countries across 6 continents, and I'm very proud to say that we've helped more goalkeepers achieve their dreams than any other goalkeeping organisation in history. Something I'm just super, super proud of, and something that we do to this day. We also launched our whole J4K gloves about 10 years ago. They've become one of the most trusted goalkeeping glove brands in the world now. But enough about that. Just go and do some due diligence on Just for Keepers J4K, and you'll see that we've been doing amazing things now for goalkeepers, parents of goalkeepers, and goalkeeping coaches for over 27 years now. So safe to say, we know what we're talking about. Okay, so back to the anxiety. How can we help you, obviously, deal with anxiety while you're playing? I've been there myself many times, guys, and there's nothing worse when you've gone through a bad spell. Maybe you've made a mistake the week before, and you just know. Again, if you've never played in goal before, please forgive me, but you'll never understand this feeling, and it's a horrible feeling. Only if you've played in goal, you'll understand this. So basically, if you're playing a goal and you're going through a bad time, like I say, maybe you're letting a silly goal the week before, you get a vibe from even your own players that they're not happy with you. And that gives you such a sickening feeling. Even like the coaches and management as well. You might get abuse from the crowd, from your home supporters, etc. Whether you're playing in front of thousands of people, like 20, 30 parents, just that sort of dirty look. It makes a goalkeeper, especially a young goalkeeper, feel terrible. To be fair, even older goalkeepers who are like in their 30s and 40s and they play for 20, 25 years, put a comment below, guys. If you've been playing a goal for 10, 20 years, it still doesn't get any better. It's still hard, isn't it? You know, when you're going through a bad time and you're not getting the support from your teammates and your supporters, etc. Anyway, I'm going to teach you how to deal with this. Now, there's different ways, there's different things you can do. I'm going to be talking about breathing, okay? So imagine you're in a game situation. I know most goalkeepers have gone through this, or they will go through this. You might be going through this now. So imagine that you've maybe had 1 or 2 bad games. You're playing in a game now. You're 5 minutes in and you've got that sick feeling in your stomach. Again, please forgive me. If you've never played in goal before, trust me, you've no idea what I'm about to talk about. Only goalkeepers can understand what I'm talking about. The sick feeling that you get is horrible. Obviously, all the negative thoughts going around in your head. I want to teach you how to stop that now. First of all, when a goalkeeper is busy, they're saving shots, the opponents around the area, crossing balls in these corners, you're having to defend corners, having to defend free kicks, you're having to communicate with your teammates. To be fair, for the most part, that's when anxiety goes away. Reason being is because you're that much focused on what's happening, not having to react, communicate with your defenders. You're busy. Okay, you're busy, so you don't have time to feel sorry for yourself or to have anxiety or to have negative thoughts. But this is where it's very tough for a goalkeeper. And again, if you're a goalkeeper, you'll go, right, I hear you. It's when we've not got anything to do. That's when all those negative doubts and thoughts creep in. So imagine this again. You're a goalkeeper, you've gone through a bit of a bad time. And then what happens then is your team has a corner. And that's when you start saying to yourself, oh, I hope I don't make the mistake I made last week. Or maybe if you dropped a cross, think, oh my goodness me, I hope I don't drop another cross, or I hope you don't have a corner. I hope you don't have a free kick around the 18-yard box or around my area, because I don't want to come for a corner. See where I'm going here, Kaz, okay? So what happens, you're actually talking yourself into making a mistake. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I want to talk about breathing in this video. So please subscribe. I'm not too sure if I mentioned this, by the way. Subscribe below. We also run a free online goalkeeper community. There's over 4,000 members. You get to win chance to win free goalkeeping gloves. These tons of free courses. We go live once a month. And we teach you guys completely free of charge how to become bulletproof as a goalkeeper. Like I said, over 4,000 members. You get to communicate with goalkeepers, parents of goalkeepers, goalkeeper coaches all over the world, and it's completely free. Check out the hook has okay, because you'll see loads of videos on the mindset. And it's actually a full video course that you can go and watch. So really recommend you do that. So again, going back to negative thoughts, guys, is one of the most horrible things to deal with as a goalkeeping coach. But like I said, I'm not going to negative thoughts. One of the things you can do in a game situation is when you have a negative thought is turn them into positive thoughts and positive actions. Again, click the link below to go out to the free course. That'll explain how to do that. Here's another video on our channel on how to turn negative thoughts into positive thoughts. Okay, but here I want to deal with breathing. Okay, so again, going back to you're in a game situation, your team, I've got a corner, and then obviously you start those negative thoughts. Oh, I hope they don't have a cross, or I hope I don't make a mistake next week. So I hope I don't make the same mistake that I made last week. Sorry, put my teeth back in. What I want you to do, okay, is if there's nobody about, okay, you can either do this inside your mind or actually out loud. Say to yourself, as soon as you have a negative thought, go, no. Because what that does, it immediately stops that negative thought, because you can't do two things at once. You can't be thinking and talking now. So again, if my team is having a corner, I'd actually say out loud to myself, as soon as I had a negative thought, now if there's people around me, I'd actually scream, but it's in my mind, okay? So if I have a negative thought of these people around me, in my mind, I'll go, no. What that does is immediately stop the negative thoughts. Actually, there's been times when I've been around family and friends, and I've thought I've actually said it in my mind, and I've gone, and my wife will go, negative thought, right? I go, I say that out loud. Yeah, they'll go, negative thought, sweetheart, yeah. But again, like I say, it is what it is. We just laugh it off. So whether or not you do out loud or verbally or out loud in your mind, make sure it's loud, because what you're trying to do is interrupt that negative thought. Because what most goalkeepers will do, they'll have one negative thought and the next end. But what happens then? The corner is taken, the opposing team starts coming towards, obviously, you as a goalkeeper, and in bits, you've actually basically self-destroyed yourself with all these compound negative thoughts, if that makes sense. So you've got to stop your negative thoughts in your tracks. And the way I do, don't choose another way. The way I do this is because the reason why I say no, because I'm telling my mind, nope, that's not right. It's easy and it's fast to say as well. And no is no, if that makes sense. So rather than beat around the bush, you don't beat around the bush with your mindset. You just tell it straight, hey, this is what I want. And for me, no is me telling my mindset, no, it's not acceptable. So again, if you have a negative thought in your head, the first thing you do is go, no. Then what I want you to do is breathe. So you breathe in, and as you breathe in, go. In your mind, count out loud. So as you're breathing in your mind, you're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I'm breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is what I'll do, guys. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to do 7 seconds. I don't want to see you staring at me for 21 seconds while I breathe, guys. I'll just do 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. So if I have a negative thought in a game situation, again, let's picture this. Goal, My team just had a corner. I start having those negative thoughts. Oh my goodness me, please don't make any mistakes. Before I've even finished, I'm like, and I'll do that, guys, 4 or 5 times. And then by the time that happens, okay, for the most part, the game's going on, the game's coming towards you. And that's when you snap out of it, because when there's action going on, you've not got time. Remember what I said earlier on in the video, when goalkeepers start to feel anxiety is when they've got nothing to do. Okay, they start down themselves. The minute that happens, like I say, no, you start breathing. Again, you might not be able to do 7 seconds, guys. It might be 5 seconds. 5 seconds in, hold for 5 seconds, 5 seconds out. Then again, 5 seconds in, hold for 5 seconds, 5 seconds out. So breathe in for 7 seconds. In your mind, shouting 1, 2, 3. Hold for 7, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out for 7, 1, 2 to 7. Then repeat. Also as well, and only do this while the game is going on down there. Okay, do not do this while the opponents are approaching. Close your eyes. Okay. And not only do you, by breathing, guys, breathing is beyond important, okay? That's why so many people meditate. And again, I've got videos on meditation to help goalkeepers. Again, not going to go into it. Just click the link below, join off the academy. Meditation is so important, okay? So not only what happens is in a game situation where you're feeling anxiety, guys, okay? And all those negative doubts and negative self-talk starts creeping in, you immediately shout. When I say shout, sorry, I don't mean scream, okay? Yeah. If you're on your own, say out loud, or in your mind, you're basically saying to your mind, nope, that's not acceptable. And what happens, guys, I promise you this, the more you say this, your mind already knows that you're going to say, no, it's not acceptable. You start training your mind. No, having negative thoughts is not acceptable in my mind. Promise you guys, sounds weird, but it works, okay? Because there's something important that by breathing helps you as well. So again, call a situation, your negative thoughts start creeping in. What you're doing is you're immediately stopping that negative thought, and your mind can't do 2 things, okay? So while you're breathing in and counting out loud in your mind, you cannot be thinking negatively, guys, okay? 99% of people can't do that. If you can, please drop the comment below, guys, because you're unique. Okay, we'll have to figure out how we can help you. But 99% of goalkeepers, they cannot do 2 things at once. They cannot think negatively and count out loud in the mind. And you can do that. Repeat it 3, 4, 5 times. You repeat that until the opponents start coming towards you. And like I said before, what happens then is when the opponents come towards you, then you're checking your left back, your right back, your centre back, you're looking for danger, you're shouting instructions. And that's when you've got no time to think negatively then, because you're in action, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's super important to do that. And also, last but not least as well, what happens as well, sometimes as a goalkeeper, especially when you've got a lot to do, obviously your blood pressure goes up, you get excited. And when you're excited as a goalkeeper and you're jumping around everywhere, that can be dangerous, okay? Because you're not really focusing, because you're everywhere. As I said, because you're excited. So going back to the example before what I was explaining, is that when you breathe and count, not only does that stop the negative thoughts, it brings down your blood pressure, it brings down all that excitement, and it brings you back to being focused. That makes sense. It calms you down. Because again, think about this. Who are the best goalkeepers in the world? The ones that are calm and collective, or the ones that are bouncing around everywhere? Which ones? Put your comments below, but you're probably already screaming at me, okay, yeah? You look at any professional goalkeeper, 99.5% of them, they're just super calm and collective. There's no emotions to them, because they're not letting the excitement. Imagine playing in front of 20, 30,000 people and letting the excitement, all the noise, and you're looking around you, it's getting you scared. If your emotions are everywhere as a professional goalkeeper, or even as any goalkeeper, you are going to make mistakes. But if you learn to breathe, that calms you down. You're not bouncing around everywhere. You're calm and collective. So breathing is beyond important, guys, and anybody can do this. I promise you this. If you do it in any game situation, even if you're not having negative thoughts, get into a habit. When you are not busy, just breathe. Because what that does, like I say, brings down your blood pressure. If you are feeling a bit excited, it brings you down to be nice and calm. Remember, the best goalkeepers in the world are the ones that are super calm and collected. And that'll probably be you as well as a goalkeeper. You are better being cool, calm, and collective. It gives your teammates and your coaches and your supporters so much confidence in you as a goalkeeper. Because if you're a goalkeeper and you're bouncing about and you're looking around everywhere, they're going to think, oh my God, our goalkeepers are bagging theirs. But if they turn around and they're like, this guy got so much confidence. because you'll have that aura around you. Now, obviously, this one video, guys, I'm not going to give you the full picture, okay? But I don't want to tell you everything. But again, it all builds on each other, okay? So again, in a game situation, to deal with anxiety, it starts with breathing, okay? That's the first thing. You have to develop breathing. All I'm asking you to do, when you have a negative thought, is no, that immediately says to your mind, nope, I'm not accepting that. And then you do your breathing, and you've got to count out loud. Because while you're counting out loud, you cannot be doing two things at once. And that gets rid of the negative thoughts. Do that, just breathe. And again, the bonuses will calm you down, will bring that blood pressure down, bring you back into focus. And then once they start attacking again, then you can't think. You can't be thinking negatively because you got to be shouting instructions to your left back, your right back. You got to be watching where you are as well. Is your positioning right? So because your mind's working, you've not got time to talk negatively. So I hope that helps, guys. Please comment below. So if you're a parent, a goalkeeper, goalkeeping coach, how do you deal with anxiety in a game situation? Please comment below wherever you're watching this video and help the goalkeeping community. Because if you've not played in goal before, it's such a horrible feeling when you're feeling scared, nervous, that negative self-talk comes in. You feel like it's the most loneliest place in the world, standing in between those sticks when things are not going well. So comment below and let's help each other. Let's raise the standard of goalkeeping. And please note, it comes from the mindset. We've helped literally thousands of goalkeepers achieve their dreams, okay? And I'll tell you now, the goalkeepers that develop their mindset, for the majority, and I'm talking 99%, will always win. They'll always beat a goalkeeper who might be technically better than on the field, but if they're like more or less this, if they're like this, okay, but this goalkeeper has got a bulletproof mindset, and this goalkeeper crumbles with the first bit of pressure, even though this goalkeeper could be better than this goalkeeper, I'll tell you now, 99% of the time, this goalkeeper with the bulletproof mindset will always get the contract. Seen it happen too many times, okay? Develop the mindset, guys. You've got no excuse. Yeah, 95% of goalkeepers will not develop their mindset, guys, sadly, out of laziness, or they can't be bothered. They might think it's sort of mumbo jumbo. So just by you developing your mindset, you will already be in the 5% of goalkeepers. I'll guarantee it. Seen it too many times. Remember, please comment below and join our free online community, and you'll get all the help and advice you need completely free of charge as a goalkeeper or a goalkeeper coach. All the best.